What's up, guys? Jiraiya here, talking to you about the conclusion of the Uzumaki series. Now, I've made short form videos on the first 3 episodes. I will link those down in the description box below if you want to take a look at them. Didn't feel like making a 4th because I was going to make this video kind of tying everything together. But let's get into it. Now, for me, again, we're going to start with animation like we always do. Something I didn't know, and I kind of made a little bit of a mention in my 3rd video, is that I didn't know that they had changed animation studios after episode 1. So there was a huge drop in animation quality, which I personally didn't notice until episode 3, but it was just because I wasn't really looking for it, and I wasn't like, not to say I wasn't paying attention, but it was just like something I wasn't thinking about as I was watching it. Because I was just like, oh, most of the time shows won't do that. But, after, like, really paying attention, especially in the 3rd episode, I just noticed, oh, okay, like, clearly the animation quality isn't what it was in the 1st episode. Now, with the 1st episode, obviously, it was perfect, in my opinion, right? As close as you can to adapting Junji Ito's, illustrations from the written page over to the small screen, chef's kiss. But with the 2nd and 3rd episode, it was kind of like, again, I didn't notice it right off the cuff, but I was like, something's a little different, but okay, whatever. And then when my wife told me about, they changed animation studios, I was like, oh, that makes so much more sense. Now, that being said, I still felt like they did, I'm not going to say a good job, they did an okay job of, like, expressing some of the horror scenes that, were supposed to be a little more visceral, but again, what are you going to do? Change an animation studio. I'm not going to say it's not their fault, but there's only so much they can do if the first one did such a good job and then they change studios, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. I will say the 4th episode did try a little bit harder than the 2nd and 3rd, but not by much. And, if there's one thing that sticks out to me, it's the fall scene. So when you guys go watch the show, it's like, what? Really? Like, bro, what are you doing? But I digress. Now, moving on to the soundtrack. I will say, in the parts that are supposed to be scary, creepy, grotesque, that's the main highlight as far as, the soundtrack obviously enhances the scary moments. And I really felt that. But other than that, my sister's like laughing in the other room. She's talking to her homies. But other than that, it really doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't really stand out. It's not a hugely great mood builder. Not a lot of huge buildup. But again, it does its job when it needs to do its job fairly well. But aside from that, it's very run-of-the-mill for me. So nothing special in my opinion about the soundtrack. Now, as far as the stories, right? Just as a recap, hey, it's the curse of the spiral taking over this town, right? It starts off as little spirals on people's skin, and then it escalates to, there's a spiral on some lady's face. You got killer curly hair battles, guys. That was like one of my favorite parts because I found that so hilarious. And it was like, I wouldn't say it was scary, but I was like, it kind of would be, but it's not scary, but it's like, it's pretty intense, but the killer curly hair battles really got me. Say that 5 times fast. Killer curly hair battles. Killer curly... Again. And then you got the snail people and the Mr. Fantastic wannabes, the typhoons, and then basically the post-apocalyptic version of the town that's just gone absolutely bonkers. Because, again, the spiral is affecting, their physical state, but also their mental is gone, right? People are either, trying to kill each other to survive, eating snail people, yada, 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 right? I won't spoil too much, but I will say the ending portion where they find out, this spiral thing it's happened before. If one could even say it's a cycle. Okay, I'm gonna stop before everyone decides they hate me. But overall, I still definitely found the show very scary, right? In a sense that it's very H.P. Lovecraft in nature, very otherworldly, right? A spiral isn't normally something that's supposed to make you scared, right? And that's what Junji Ito's known for, is like making things that shouldn't be scary, scary as hell, right? Again, from the little spirals on people's skin to the spiral on the lady's face and everything in between, right? For me, I definitely found that to be like very disturbing in nature, because as much as the physical transformation, like I said, was terrifying, it really played on my love-hate relationship for body horror, right? I love it because it's scary, and I hate it because it's usually disgusting and it's scary. Again, what are you going to do? And it really played into that, obviously. But for me, as much as that was a huge factor, it was, oh, the spiral is really driving people cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in every sense of the word, right? The people who are affected physically are obviously being affected physically. The people who aren't yet, are they're getting there, or they're going crazy, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And for me, that's terrifying on a different level, right? Because it's, hey, like, you either wait for something terrible to happen, or you're going to end up being the terrible thing that happens. Now, as a whole, right, even with the drop in animation quality, I felt like the show was still scary enough, but I kind of mentioned it in, I think, my third short video on Uzumaki, that it could have been much better, right? A little bit better of a soundtrack. If all the animation had been like episode 1 quality, absolutely chef's kiss. It'd be earning a 10 out of 10 in my book, right? The pacing of the show was a little quick, but hey, when you only have 4 episodes and it's all under 40 minutes, there's only so much you can do with that, especially with a story as detailed as Uzumaki. But hey man, like, at the end of the day, I would give it a solid 7 out of 10, right? I can't give it much higher, like, just on the basis that the first episode was so amazing, right? It's like, nah, like, you have to lose more than a couple points for how poorly the next 3 went. Story is pretty okay overall. Like I said, I found myself to be scared a lot more often than I thought I would. Soundtrack could use some work, but hey, again, 7 out of 10, guys. So, let me know what you guys want to see next, right? I have a couple things in mind, a lot more short form videos that I want to put out there. Again, I'm still on my Batman kick. Absolute Batman is coming out, I think November 13th. Absolute Wonder Woman comes out tomorrow. So, hey guys, there's plenty of content for me to be making. So, like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you guys. Love you so much. I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.